guys, you're watching And the Steel Mountain, both Sweden's and World's Strongest Man competitor. You are watching World's Strongest Fan, where all the crazy shit happens.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. First up, we join Dean Madden in competition, lifting a stone to shoulder, the weight 160 kilos or 352 pounds. We now move into the bench press, and first up it's Marcus Crowder, the weight 258.5 kilos or 570 pounds. Next up, and also doing bench, it's Joseph Tumbarello. He says, "This is only my second workout back since being sick." Well, he doesn't look very sick to me. Next up, it's Mateusz Kieliszkowski, working on the front hold, something you don't see very often, and it does show he's getting ready for competition. But which competition do you think that will be? I've heard rumours he may compete at this year's official Strongman Games, so we'll have to wait and see. Now next up, we move into some overhead pressing. First up, it's under 105 kilo strongman Chris Harrison, and that was too easy. Next up, and also doing dumbbell, it's Kelly Howell. He says it would be really interesting to see what he's capable of, especially if he trained it properly. The weight today, 90.5 kilos or 200 pounds. Next up, we join Ben Williams. He was out supporting his friend at a Giants live show, but couldn't help try out that dumbbell. The weight, 100 kilos or 220 pounds. We now move out to Iceland, and we join Hafthor Bjornsson, also training the loaded dumbbell. The weight of his, 120 kilos or 264 pounds. He gets himself set, and there goes the press. Next up, we join Ashley Pinkney. She's training Axel today. She says this is the easiest 100 kilo Axel she's ever done. She's really happy with it and excited to see what she's capable of next year. Just look how easy that press was. I think she's got 110 at least. Here's a clip from Graciano Rubio, always impressive, 152 kilos or 335 pounds. Next up, we move into the log press, and first it's Jason Knights, also known as the world's strongest joiner. That's 140 kilos or 308 pounds. Next up, we're out in Australia on the Gold Coast, and we join Coco, John Stephen Corabooth. He says, "You say I press too much, but I say you can never press enough." Next up, we join Tyler Helm, and he's training on a wooden log. He says, "I'm back on Old Faithful for a quick session." The weight, 165 kilos or 363 pounds strict. Next up, it's Jacob Finity. He's a really great presser. He says, when 380 pounds moves like this, it means you should have opened higher. Next up, we join Luke Nall, pressing from some blocks. The weight, 186 kilos or 410 pounds strict. That's a new personal record for him. But up next, it's the new Czech record and also junior world record. The athlete Lucas Pepper. Really impressive stuff from him. It's 200 kilos or 441 pounds, and he does it strict. We now move into some squatting, and first up it's Brad Crawford. He says he's on week 9 of his Static Monsters prep. The weight on that front squat, 272 kilos or 600 pounds. Next up, we join powerlifter Blake Lehue. He says this is not the best angle, but he made sure to get some pretty good depth. But up next, it's Hafthor Bjornsson, and who knows what he's training for. The weight on the bar today, 300 kilos or 661 pounds for 2 reps, and he rounds out the first half of today's video. Now we're into the second part of today's video, and we kick off with a moving event. It comes from Jose Baez Jr. He says, "Moving events alongside a Padres win tonight was awesome. The weight of that super yoke, 408 kilos or 900 pounds. We now move out to Iceland, and we join Ragnhildur Jónasdóttir, currently prepping for her next powerlifting meet. The weight, 200 kilos or 441 pounds for 2 reps. Next up, it's Joe Oliver, pulling on the axle. He says, my axle deadlifts are still creeping up in the background, 280 kilos or 617 pounds for 3 reps. Next up, it's Miroslav Kahanek, pulling 320 kilos or 705 pounds. Great work from him. Next up, we join Zach Hadge, one half of the Hadge brothers. He says he's on week 12 of his 18-week deadlift and squat program. That's 326.5 kilos or 720 pounds for 3 reps. Next up, we're back in the UK and we join Ben Smith. He says, Monday was supposed to be 340 kilos for a triple, but everything felt heavy and I had zero motivation. Here's a clip from Evan Singleton who says it's going to be crazy to use his arms again and see where his deadlift is at when he starts his prep for World's Strongest Man in 2023. Next up, we join another lifter. It's Andreas Stolberg, working hard on the deadlift. The weight, 350 kilos or 771 pounds for 3 reps. Andreas, desperate to get back to World's Strongest Man again. Next up, we're out in competition and we join Dean Madden, event 1 the max deadlift, pulling 360 kilos or 793 pounds. Next up, and also at that show, it's Emanuel Pescari, pulling 380 kilos or 838 pounds at a body weight of under 105 kilos. That's seriously impressive. Next up, we join Jesus Olivares. He says, imagine thinking I don't work on my craft. 385 kilos or 848 pounds. Next up, it's Gabriel Pena, the Texas Titan, pulling on an axle from a height of 15 inches. The weight, 385.5 kilos or 850 pounds. Here's a clip from Nugongid Baranasate. The weight, 400 kilos or 882 pounds. That's the new under 105 kilos world record. Congratulations to him. Following on from that, if you can, it's Brad Crawford, pulling from a height of 18 inches, getting ready for static monsters. The weight on that axle, 422 kilos or 930 pounds. Now here's a clip from Mitchell Hooper. He's also pulling from height today. The weight, 488 kilos or 1,075 pounds from a height of 19 inches. That's actually a personal best for him. Now seeing us out today, it's strongman Spencer Remick, working hard on the axle with a weight of 340 kilos or 750 pounds for 5 reps. And he goes on to say, I'll call this an exclamation point on my axle deadlifts from my last 2 contest preps. Anyway guys, that's it from me today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I'll catch you again as always on the next one.